team 10 up and 5 down in the last 15 NBA Finals games. That includes all 3 games this series.
What's up, guys? Welcome back yet again for another comeback on an NBA legend. Today's legend, he is an ESPN top 20 player of all time and a 2-time NBA champion, longtime Spur David Robinson. To avoid going more over the cap limit, we estimate David Robinson's salary to be around $23 million. So we get rid of Pog Saul, Patrick Mills, and Dwayne Dedmon, who all add up to $26 million. We bring in some young guys and sign them for the minimum, and now we have our team. We hope that by forming this team, we can have a successful transition. Some goals we have set out for us to accomplish is have 2 All-Stars represent the Spurs, have at least 1 member of the team join the All-NBA first team, and because the West is pretty competitive, we hope to at least reach the Western Finals Conference. The dream season is now starting for the San Antonio Spurs, and as much as they'll miss Tim Duncan for this ride, they're very delighted to have David Robinson. The Spurs have a decent 11-8 start, and they click really good on the defensive side, being ranked the 4th best defense. However, offensively, it will take some time, but they got Greg Popovich, so shouldn't be something to worry about. David Robinson once scored 71 points against the Clippers in a regular season match. When he needs to, David Robinson will put up some buckets. The Spurs have a very good month in December, playing really well together and closing games. David Robinson leads the league 3rd in blocks, and Kawhi Leonard gets awarded Player of the Week award. The All-Star game is finally here. The Spurs are happy to announce that 2 of their players are going to represent them. This is only Kawhi Leonard's 2nd appearance, and this marks David Robinson's 11th All-Star game. David Robinson had 5 boards and Kawhi Leonard had 15 points. However, the West fell short to the East, 110-105. In March, the Spurs clinched the playoff spot, making them the 4th team in the West to secure a spot. David Robinson leads his team to 5 straight wins and records a triple-double in one of those games. In 1994, David Robinson became one of 4 players to ever score a quadruple-double, with 34 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, and 10 blocks against the Pistons. The fact that only 4 players in NBA history have been able to do that and achieve that speaks in many levels for the big man David Robinson. As the season winds down, the Spurs finish with a 52-30 record and secure the 4th seed. The Spurs didn't have any members in the All-NBA first team, but rather Robinson made the All-NBA second team and Kawhi Leonard landed in the 3rd team. There have been many eras in the Spurs history, but if we take a look at some of our most popular duos, we notice that the Twin Towers have 2 championships together. Tim Duncan and Kawhi Leonard have 1, and now with the legend returning, David Robinson and Kawhi have the opportunity to win 1 more championship together this season. The playoffs are finally here. In the first round, we have the San Antonio Spurs going up against the 5th seed, Grizzlies. Game 1, Grizzlies come into San Antonio and pull the big upset, setting the tone for the series. Grizzlies win 115-98. Mike Conley had a double-double in this one, scoring 25 points and 10 assists. Game 2, San Antonio at risk of letting this one get away, but they come back and take full control of this game, winning 118-98. David Robinson was short of recording a triple-double, scoring 24 points, 16 rebounds, and 9 assists. Game 3, Memphis defends their home court and gives the season ticket holders their money's worth as they win 110-100. David Robinson had a double-double in this one, but had no help. Kawhi Leonard had an off night, only scoring 11 points. Game 4. Spurs desperately need a win in this one so they won't fall into a 3-1 deficit. Spurs came up big, winning 119-96. Kawhi Leonard had 28 points. Game 5. This game was pretty close all 4 quarters. Many lead changes in this one, and this came down to the wire. Spurs win a nail-biter, 108-106. Zach Randolph was unable to score the last shot to tie the game and send it to overtime. Game 6. With the Spurs coming in and in Game 5 taking control of the series, they now try to put this series to rest here in Memphis. Spurs hit those open shots and win 110-89. David Robinson had his 5th game in a row scoring a double-double. Spurs celebrate as they now advance to the Western Conference semifinals. On the other side, we have a highly anticipating matchup against the number 1 seed Golden State Warriors, a battle of the super teams. Game 1 in Oracle. The Warriors come in strong and pull away in this one late in the game, winning 118-104. KD had an explosive double-double, scoring 40 points and 10 rebounds, contributing big for his team. Game 2. The Golden State Warriors missing 3-pointers from everywhere. Shots that usually go in are not going in as the Warriors catch a cold shooting night. The Spurs played a great defense and they win this one 104-95. Game 3. The playoffs return to San Antonio and the Warriors back to playing hot, shooting from long range. Spurs try to hand in and come back from a 20-point deficit but come short and lose this one 94-88. Game 4. The Warriors now in momentum in this series. The Spurs try really hard to keep up in this one to tie the series, but it gets away from them as Draymond scores 31 points and played extremely well on defense all night long. Game 5. Spurs are in verge of elimination. Crucial game here in Oracle. A back and forth game as both teams get good looks against one another. But there was one guy who just led up all night, not giving up and giving the Spurs defense nightmares. Steph Curry comes in big to bury the Spurs in a close game, 118-116. He had 42 points in this one, and the Warriors now advance to the Western Conference Finals for the 3rd time in a row. The Spurs end their season here. As talented as the Spurs team is, they couldn't pull this one off. This team was always selfless as they played well as a team all season long. Not one player in this team cared much about winning one individual award. Instead, they cared about succeeding and moving on as a team. David Robinson came back for this one season, played hard, and reunited with the team he played for all his career. He gives Kawhi Leonard and LaMarcus Aldridge his blessing, and we all know the Spurs team will stick around for years to come. That's it for this one. If you enjoyed this series and you want many more videos like these to come, make sure to press the like button and subscribe. We got another interesting one coming on the way, but if you haven't already seen the previous video, make sure to check out Oscar Robertson as he returns and tries to cement another championship to his legacy. Thank you all for watching. Many more great videos to come, I promise.